Honest Audrey, or Audrey if you know me like that. If you don't get to know me, I'd love to meet ya. Okay, so before we even get started, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel and that you press the little bell that I believe is to your right, which would probably be to my left if I was looking at it right now. But anyway, press the bell so you'll get notifications every time I upload. Let's go ahead and dig into it. Go! So you guys, the only thing that I've done is to put on some moisturizer. As you guys know, I am a dry skin girl. Maybe you didn't know that, but guess what? I am, okay? I'm gonna do that, and I'm actually gonna take this Mario Badescu skincare. I like to use this to lock in moisture from my moisturizer. So excuse me. And I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm actually gonna use one of my big spoolies. This is an e.l.f. spoolie. Let's go. So we're gonna use her to kind of get my eyebrow hairs and formation on tonight. Okay. This is really just kind of a today I don't want to look dry-faced type of look, and to me one of the biggest ways to make sure that you look a little bit put together is making sure your eyebrows look like something. So this is just a little mini quick tip to give you a way to do your eyebrows. So lately I have been using hello.
Sorry about that.
Anyway, I was saying that I've been using this NYX or NYX, whatever area you're from, okay? I call it NYX. It's an eyebrow gel. It's actually my first time ever using an eyebrow gel, and it is in the color Espresso. This is what the actual tube looks like. And again, this is what I've been using as of late. Before, I had been using the Black Radiance. It's kind of like a cream pomade, and it is in the color Not Mentioned, okay? But this is what it looks like, guys. That's what I had been using, but lately I've been trying out this brow gel, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with that. I'm just using a small angled brush, and all I'm gonna do is, pretty sure you guys can't see this, but I'm squeezing the tube, and as some of the product comes out, I'm just gonna kind of brush my brush with it, okay? So now that my eyebrows have already been brushed into the spacing that I want them to be in, I'm just actually gonna outline the bottom of it. I'm kind of gonna take it slow because some days it's great, some days it's like honey. And usually I try to start in the middle, because if a large chunk happens to come off when I first start to fill in the brow, then it's better that it's darker and more full toward the middle and kind of in than it would be toward the front. So I'm just going in on the back end, and then I'm taking residue. That's kind of my thing with products like this. I'll take residue and drag that toward the front and kind of pre-clean it up even before I get to the concealer phase. I'll pre-clean it up. Toward the front, I'll take the edged point and kind of tip that upward to fill in gaps for sparse hairs toward the front. So now that I have the bottom outline, I'm going to do the same thing, kind of brush some of this product on the point or the tip of the brush, and then I'm going to fill in the top part as well. And again, I'm kind of taking the meatier part or the more pigmented part toward the middle, and then whatever residue is left, I'm just kind of dragging that toward the front. Okay, so it's just little baby filling it in. And there you have it, I'm done. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I am gonna go and finish the other one and then come back. Okay, so all right, you guys, I am back and I filled in both eyebrows. One looks a little baby janky, but here's the claim that I forgot to mention. With this particular brow gel, which again is the NYX brow gel, it has a waterproof and smudge proof claim that is very much so true. So the window of time where you can kind of smudge and hurry up and wipe away mistakes is very small, as you can see. Okay, so with that being said, both of the eyebrows are filled in, so I'm just gonna go back to this elf spoolie, and I'm gonna just brush up the brows, the hairs rather, and kind of mix in that product as well so that they kind of look more seamless as much as possible. And just the hairs that are a little bit longer than I want them to be, I'm gonna actually brush them up, and then I'm gonna kind of pull them over so that they look like they're shorter than what they are, but really I'm just bending them with the spoolie. And I'll do the same one with this eyebrow. Of course, my eyebrows are two different shapes. Both of them are thick, but they're just sisters, not twins on tonight, huh? Okay, so as you can see, I kind of have some dead space. It's uneven, X, Y, and Z, whatever. So I'm gonna take this 3D Ruby Kisses, and it's the 3D Face Creator. I've talked about this before. I have had it for a good long bit, which is why it looks pretty ratchet, but I love it because it is not too creamy that it'll keep moving around as you're trying to use it. And I've been using, as you can see, it just comes off, okay, but I've been using the lighter side, which I believe is right here, the lighter side to contour, because it is like it's a stiff cream. And what I've really been doing, I've been mixing the darker and the lighter together for the top of my eyebrow so that it'll blend in more with my skin, because I don't want that halo effect. I would like a slight highlight under the eyebrows and then just kind of only cleaning up on the top. So I'm gonna take that two-edged, and it's a two-edged brush. And there's the pointed side that I was using for the actual product. I'm actually gonna fill in a little bit more. But I'm gonna take this side, which is just a flat synthetic brush and small on this end, hallelujah, okay? And I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go ahead and dip into that lighter color right here, nothing fancy, and I'm just gonna drag it under the eyebrow to create the shape that I want. As I focus with my mouth open, okay? So I'm just dragging this through to get the shape that I want, the exact shape that I want. And I'm actually not even gonna reach up for the top yet, because I'm gonna go ahead and go back into that same color. Do the same thing for the other eyebrow, which I'll kind of have to be more intentional about making sure that I'm creating the shape that I want. And this is, it's thick enough, but it's not too movable that it can even cover hairs that you haven't plucked or just pop up because they're disrespectful. Okay, so, and I kind of took that a little too high at the arch, but that's cool, we can go back and fix that. But that's the gist of it, and we're done. Okay, I'm just kidding. But, so now, I am actually, ooh, the hair. I'm actually gonna mix these two colors together, and it'll kind of give me more of a skin tone, and I'm gonna use that for the top of the brows. So again, I'm just taking that darker color and lighter color, and I'm just going pitter patter, one side, and I'm ending up with the darker color. And with that, I'm going to actually use the edge of the brush instead of the flat surface. I'm going to use the edge to clean up the top. So this one is kind of already where I would like for it to be, but we're still going to clean it up a bit. So we're just taking that edge. I'm just going to take the flat side again to get my life right here. Okay, and I'm dipping back into that dark color, light, and then more dark. And again, I'm taking the edge of the blush to clean it up. Going back in with the dark color right here. And, okay, now we're done. I'm just kidding. We're not done, okay? So what I'm gonna do, and I'll, suggest this as well. Sometimes I will use like more of a loose foundation, liquid foundation, to carve out and clean up. Now, I like this particular product, the 3D Ruby Kisses, because it's thicker. It's a thicker formula, so it can kind of cover spaces as opposed to just cleaning up. Because sometimes I just don't feel like plucking. It's just a lot happening. So I'll go with the thicker formula, the 3D Face Creator. But if I've already been plucked, or if I recently got my eyebrows waxed and it's just a little bit off, or I just want to fill it in for a different kind of look, I'll go with like the MAC Studio. This is pretty, you know, this is like OG. This is the MAC Studio foundation, and it's more of a, as you can hear, it's a liquidy formula. So if I'm just looking to actually just clean, then I'll use that because I'm not looking for any coverage. But this, the 3D Face Creator by Ruby Kisses, A1. So now that that's sat there for a minute, I'm actually, as soon as I find it, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a flat synthetic brush that's a bit bigger. I feel like this is the one I use. Okay, maybe. But I'm gonna take a flat brush that is synthetic. I'm actually gonna spray it so it can kind of help break up what's happening on the top. So I'm gonna start here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and blend that out with the brush. Sometimes I use a brush, sometimes I use my fingers. Usually toward the ends here because it'll get a little too creamy and kind of difficult to blend out. I'll use my fingers, but toward the beginning of the brow, I'll just use a brush to make it happen, Captain. And I'm gonna do the same thing under the brow. I'm just blending that out, and usually if I'm actually doing my complete makeup look, as you can see I have veins on my eyelids here, I will just drag that, this is actually like it's supposed to be like a contour / concealer kit, so I just drag that down to conceal the eyelids, and I'll set it, and then I'll just use that, as most people do, just go ahead and go about doing their makeup, or eye makeup rather. But now, because I'm not about that life today, gonna drag that down and blend it out. And as I said before, I'm using my finger on the edges to make sure that it's good and blended, and I'm not getting too much of that halo effect, but I'm still getting a nice little highlight. So here's one of the tricks with this flat shader brush here, which I said is it's not a shader brush, I'm lying. This flat synthetic brush here, I am making sure that I'm not grabbing too close to the line I've already created. I'm actually grabbing toward the bottom of that concealer to blend out, because I want to keep the highlight effect under the brow, and I don't want to take too much of the coverage away. So I'm brushing at where the coverage is, but I'm really just kind of blending out the edges or the ends of the concealer. And again, I'm taking my finger. Sometimes I'll wipe some of the concealer because, you know, I went too ham because I was excited about the Lord Jesus Christ. Okay, so look. So here's the thing that really bothers me. So if you guys can see, I have like these little baby hairs that's not actually really a part of the family. They really bother me. So what I'm gonna do is, as soon as I find it, because I just like switched out my beauty table, so my life is in shambles, as the kids say. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take one of these little eyebrow razors, and I'm just actually gonna razor off the little extra baby hairs that don't match what's happening in America. And I'm only taking the tip of it because, you know, I'm scared to end up razoring off my whole eyebrow. Ugh. Okay, that's all I'm doing there, and I'm just gonna tap at it to get the excess hair off. Okay, then I'm gonna go right back into this e.l.f. eyebrow brush, and yes, I bent it because it's just a little easier to get them into place. And I'm gonna go ahead and brush that back up and everything else into place so that they can all be in perfect harmony, like everything. All right, you guys, and this is the final look. Okay, this is just my mini eyebrow toot, and this is like the everyday eyebrow. This is not a glamped up eyebrow. This is I don't feel like putting on makeup today, but I don't want to look like unsnatched on tonight, seeing as the pimple devils have summoned my face. Very disrespectful. God is still good, and he still sits high on the throne. Thank you so much for sitting through this again. Comment, like, subscribe. Tell me how your day was. Talk to me. So glad that you guys decided to tune in. Make sure you comment, rate, subscribe, comment, rate, subscribe, comment, rate, and subscribe. Like this video if you like it. Like this video if you are a human. You know, if you fit in that category, then, you know, just hit like. All right, and as always, if no one has told you today, and even if they have, I love you from the bottom of my heart, and you are uniquely you. Bye, you guys.